It was petrifying. I've lived on kibbutz Nirim since 1975. Never have I feared for my life. Never have I been as scared as I was and as close to death as I was on Saturday. For the first moments, we had intensive rocket fire, which is something that happens, and we know what to do. My son was visiting me because it was the kibbutz's anniversary the day before.
Okay.
So he was visiting me. He was sleeping in the safe room, which is also usually my guest room in normal times. And so I ran out of my bedroom and ran to the safe room, and we sat there on the floor because we have 0 to 10 seconds to take cover before, from the second we hear the alarm until we hear the explosion.
It just doesn't stop. And what's going on the screen has nothing to do with the pop-ups. It's like a recorded program. And the whole country's under attack. Well, I don't know, the whole country. I've seen Tel Aviv and Chulon. I don't know how much farther north.
Within 20 minutes, half an hour, we got notification that there were terrorists that had infiltrated the kibbutz. We had no idea what was going on that it was going on in all these other communities. I just knew what was happening on Nirim. We were told to lock the doors, close the windows, close the shutters, and lock ourselves in the safe room. So we're sitting in the safe room, keeping quiet. All of a sudden we hear gunshots outside. We hear Arabic voices, and in the kibbutz internal SMS system, we see frantic messages from people all around the kibbutz saying, we hear Arabic outside, they're in our house, we hear them, they're trying to open the safe room door, like, come help us. After we'd been in there since 6:30. So I went out, I opened the door very carefully, and I saw that the slats on my window had been busted. So they tried to get into the house.
The house, yeah.
And dumb luck or divine intervention or my husband watching from above, I'm a widow. I don't know what it was, but for some reason they decided not to enter, because if they had, I would not be here talking to you today. I would be dead or abducted. The army came after about 6 hours.
Okay.
Until then, we were on our own, each man for himself, and I did not have a weapon. Thank God, my son-in-law had a weapon. He was in his house with my 3 granddaughters who were in the safe room, and he heard the terrorists in his house. He told them, go under the sheets, cover yourselves with the sheets. He went outside the safe room, closed the door behind him, and found himself face to face with a terrorist and killed him. Later on, we realized that there were about 50 terrorists going through our kibbutz. Our kibbutz is a small community where, like, I walk around it in the morning, it's 2 kilometers walking all around the kibbutz. So we're about 450 people in the kibbutz, and terrorists all over the place.
Yeah, and they were like knocking on doors. What were they doing?
They were knocking on doors. We were told, if somebody knocks on the door, don't answer unless you're, if the first responders come, they will call out your names. Will say that they're there. And we're just waiting for the army. And we're waiting and waiting and waiting. And it took hours for the army to come. At one point, we heard, when I was a little girl growing up, I used to play Nazi, hiding from Nazis.
Yeah.
From all the stories from World War II. Never in my life did I dream that in 2023, I would be hiding from Nazis of 2023, the Hamas, these terrorists.